left my boots and my faded jeans in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and swapped them for a coat and tie and someplace else to go. I had days that were laced with white lines on narrow blacktop roads, with honky tonks around each day and drunken episodes.
Hi Toby, it's Sean from UK. Can you give us a...
Those flashing lights and them busted fists and winning with no name. And mornings past the night before I learned to play the game. Then one night I was peeling labels on empty bottles of beer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, saints and sinners. Welcome to the Forest Fenn Saturday Night Church of the Search. Bow your heads. Let's all pray together.
Midnight rendezvous. Yeah, she played memories of songs that made me blue. Sweet soft melodies that took me back to you. She stripped me bare and read my heart like it was an open book. I tried to lie as always, but her voice is all it took to bring back Sunday morning rides and sunsets by a stream and old grass beds we made love in and dreamed our silly dreams. I drank her words like they were wine and looked into her eyes. She turned her head and walked away, made me realize the longest days and the darkest nights were more than I could face. The only thing that I could do would leave that lonesome place that she played memories, the kind that we romance to be dark rhapsodies, the midnight rendezvous. Yeah, she played memories of songs that made me blue. Sweet soft melodies that took me back to you. Took me back to you.
I don't know why that sounded so loud to me, but it sounded loud, didn't it? Actually, I sound a little bit soft. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's about right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. I am still in my recon dirty, torn-up shirt because this is what I wear when I go on a recon. We got back just a few minutes ago. I got up early this morning, so I didn't shave. Haven't showered. You're going to have to deal with it. But we had a great recon, and I've got some pictures for you. We've got some video. They're all kind of unsorted right now. So we'll just have to go through them and see what happens. We're calling it the Kamado Recon number 36, huh? 36 of these babies, and I still haven't found this damn treasure. Who knows why? But we'll play some music and drink some drinks. That's the other thing I have to do. So I'm going to start this first song, and I don't have a drink here. So I feel like I got to go get something. Otherwise, because I'm already dry. And no, I don't need a software install. Okay. So thanks for joining me tonight. I'm glad that you did. We had a great day up in the mountains north of Santa Fe, where Forrest Fenn hid the treasure. And honestly, you know, I always say this, I'm convinced that this is the location. But as soon as I show you some of these pictures and you realize this is an hour and a half away from his house, you're going to, oh, wait, hang on. I'm going to have to decline that because I am not ready for calls right now. Hold on. That's... So if you just called, give me some time to get settled here, and then we'll open up the phone lines and we'll do some talking about the treasure. I'm not going to do text messages, voicemails, or emails tonight. We'll save those all for Wednesday. We'll just take in phone calls after I show you some of my stuff, some of the stuff that we shot tonight or shot today. But first, I'm going to play a song. Let me find one that's reasonably long enough so I can go get a drink. I need a drink. It doesn't even have to be an adult beverage at this point. My throat is dry, as you can probably hear. So just kind of go with this song. Then I'll come back. I'll address some of your questions. You know what I have to do first, though? Ugh, okay. Let me do this first. All right?
Housekeeping, you want towels?
Of course you want towels. Hey, before you leave tonight, I would appreciate it if you like our work. Please like this video. YouTube likes it when you like our video. My partner, the Magical Treasure Princess, and she was outstanding today. This is her theory. Magical Treasure Princess loves it when you like our videos. And then share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social network. And that way we can grow the channel, get it beyond that measly 6,670 subscribers that we have right now. And then finally, if you are not already a subscriber, smash down on that AUGA subscribe button. And when you see the notifications bell, ring the notifications bell, and that way, when we start a live stream, you'll be immediately informed, and as a result, in the know. Keep in mind, though, we're about entertainment. We don't claim to be about content, but that doesn't stop us from looking for this darn treasure like we did today. We had a great day today, and I'm going to tell you more about it in just a little bit. So if you want to reach out to me, make sure that you highlight oh, look, the Magical Treasure Prince is in the room. Highlight our name, a Gypsy's Kiss, by using the @ a Gypsy's Kiss. That highlights it for me, and I can see all the people that did. Another option is you can go down to the bottom of the screen. You'll see a grayed out but stylized, or stylized but grayed out $. Click on that, and YouTube will very graciously walk you through contributing a super chat. Any amount from $1, actually I think you do 99 cents, up to $500. And we actually had one of those ones. Also, I'd like to note in the room, we have several people with blue wrenches next to their name, including my partner, Shelly Carney. LR's in the room. Later on, we may see K-Pro. We may see Sassy. I think Sassy's already in the room. We'll see Sarah Rocks, Colorado. Those are the folks that help us make sure that we maintain a sense of decorum in the room. We like maintaining decorum in the room. It makes it fun for you, makes it fun for me, makes it fun for the Magical Treasure Princess. So let me take care of Bill Cross's donation. You know, he wants to see Toby and son play guitar performance together. We do that every once in a while at family get-togethers. But even then, I let him play the guitar and we just do the songs because he learned all the Eagles stuff from me. And he learned, my daughters used to, you know, his sisters used to love, they'd ask him to play music that was popular for them. They're in their 30s now. So he learned a lot of those songs for them. But where he got started with me was with the Eagles. And he does a lot of the Eagles songs, and we do a lot of them together. So maybe one of these days we'll get together. I had a wrench once. Yeah, you did, Greg. Yeah, I don't know. Why did we take that away? What did you do? What did you do that caused you to lose your wrench? The other thing is my studio clock. The battery must be wearing out because my studio clock says it's 4:15, and we know it's 7:12. So what else? All right, I literally got to go get something. I'm going to play this song. I'm going to run off and get something to drink, and I'll be right back. You guys enjoy yourselves. Talk to the MTP. She's in the room. And then when we come back, I'll see what we can show you about where we were today and how much fun we had. You know what? It is amazing to me. We take my little red truck. Shelly sits up front. Kevin sits in the back and navigates for me because he's such a great navigator. I'm terrible at navigating, but he's a great navigator. And every time we go out and we're coming back, I tell them how happy it makes me to be sharing this adventure with them. They're just the best people in the world, and I love being with them, and I love especially searching for the treasure as well with them. I really enjoy it. I mean, they're just a pleasure to be around. Kevin makes sandwiches for us. We stopped in a couple of places, and we had to rush back. We left. I think we left my place around 11, and from my house it's about a 2-hour-and-15-minute drive. But we're leaving from Bernalillo. From Fenn's house, it's an hour and a half at the most, and that includes 45 minutes on mountain roads. So this is definitely within a possibility from his house. It isn't far from his house. It's very fenny, and on the way back down. So in order to make this reasonable, I don't take my truck out of two-wheel drive. The only time I take it out to do two-wheel drive is when I'm going back down the hill, just to be a little bit safer. I'm responsible for my my partner and my friend, and so I put it in four-wheel drive just to kind of slow things down just a little bit as we're going back down. But I never took it out of four-wheel drive. I mean, I never took it out of two-wheel drive going up. And on the way down, we passed a guy going the other direction in a Lincoln Continental, big white Lincoln Continental. So I don't know. You could drive up there in a sedan, although I will repeat what I've said in the past. Forrest Fenn is not a sedan kind of guy. Okay, so let me go do this. Let me go get something to drink because you can hear I'm already running out of voice here. And then when I come back, we'll answer some questions in the room, and then I will show you some of the photographs. Maybe we'll start with the photographs because the drone video is 4K, the Osmo video is 4K. Kevin set up the GoPro on the front of the truck so you get a sense of the kind of roads we were on. At the top, as we got progressively higher, they get progressively more, forest roady. But I think the conclusion we've come to is Warm Waters Halt has nothing to do with waters. So there you go. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Let me go get something to drink, and I'll be back. I'm going to play some music here. Can you tell I'm excited about tonight? I really am. I don't know what this is. I'm just going to play it. It's loud. That's what it is. Turn on the webcam. I'll be back in a sec. Nice. So if you want your own Magical Treasure Princess Cup, the Team Treasure Princess Cup, there's a link in the description box below. You can get one for yourself. Nice big cup. Got lots of room for pouring beverages, adult beverages. All right, so let's answer some questions in the room first, and then I will share some pictures with you because I got a lot of stuff. Literally, we got back, and I had Shelly and Kevin dump their phones onto the folders. Then I did my phone, and then I did the Osmo, the GoPro, and the Mavic. And I was literally 1 minute late. So these things are not edited, they're not sorted, and some of them are pretty long. So we just may take a look at them and see what we got. And then I'll tell you what I think about where we were. All right, let me go back to the room. And William Sparks was 20 minutes early. Ding. Alan says, a Gypsy's Kiss, do you send Forrest a link when you go live? We do not. We don't send anybody a link when we go live. We're on our own. Larry Smith, Fenn doesn't like these vlogs because they chase after too many rabbits. Larry, were you not sending him emails with your rabbit holes, brother? So don't be talking about my rabbit holes. You got some rabbit holes. Fenn gives out minor hints every so often. He also engages his humor, but most don't know how to. No, he doesn't. It's all in the poem and in the book. If you think he's giving out hints, he's tricked you. He has got you running down rabbit holes again. He's giving you rabbit holes. Let's see. Chris Kenzie says, what are you doing? Yeah, don't be exchanging emails in the rooms, guys. These things are permanent. Do not put your email. Don't try to put your email in any way in this room because this is a public forum. This is you put your email in this room, and unless you have a business like 3D bronze, but we don't allow you to put that's why Chris tried to get around it by doing it. But I'm telling you, you've basically put it out in the public domain, and your email is now free for anyone to get to. And that's not, there are businesses, I'm hesitant to call them businesses, there are people out there that do nothing but scrape chat rooms for email addresses, and the next thing you know, you're getting a bunch of junk. So don't do emails. That's not healthy. Not healthy for you. I don't care what, no, Chris, seriously, do not do that. You can't do it. Anything that has an @ sign or a .com is not going to show up anyway, right? Let's see. Pirate 45, Gypsy's Kiss, Toby. I am thinking of buying a drone like yours, but would love to ask you a few questions about it offline if possible. If not, no problems. Frank, just call in tonight. I love talking about drones. This is the Saturday Night Church of the Search. We can talk about anything, including drones. LR, when does the official Rooster roster start? We've already started it. We started it the other evening in our member vault. So we'll start taking names from you guys on Wednesday because the search season is going to open up here. So JK Pioneer says, hey, Toby. I say, hey, JK Pioneer. So Hooli says Greg Keller's new channel. Hooli can do that because she's a moderator and she's thoughtful like that. Carrie Galloway. Oh, Jesus, Carrie. Come on, brother. Let's try to be civil. We're trying to be civil in here. That's why that got deleted. Drink some water. Yeah, we did. We were at, I think the highest we were at was 9,400 feet. And I got to tell you, so we're acclimated. In the sense that, first of all, we're at 5,500 feet here in Albuquerque, or 5,500 feet, depending, and we all work out. And we work out at 5,000 feet. So when we go up to 9,000 feet, it's not a big deal for us, but it does mean you've got to drink a lot of water because you're completely, and I am. I didn't drink enough today. So make sure that when you come out, if you're coming from Florida, spend a couple of days in Albuquerque, spend a couple of days in Santa Fe. And I don't mean just stay in your hotel room. I mean, get out so you know what it's like to walk around at 7,000 feet from sea level. You're going to be short of breath. I don't care how healthy you are. I remember one time I used to do 10K runs and duathlons, which is a combination of a run and a bike ride when I was in Virginia. And I came back to Santa Fe one summer, and my brother-in-law asked me if I wanted to do a bike ride. They were doing a bike race, and I said yes, and I didn't finish the bike race. Because I went from sea level out, well, not sea level, Virginia's like 200 feet, but I went from there to 7,000 feet, and it's a different world. So make sure you acclimate, spend a couple of days walking around Santa Fe so you know what it feels like not to have any oxygen in your lungs. It's very much like coronavirus. And drink lots of water. But I felt good today. I think, like I said, we were up at 9,300 feet and didn't feel like I was short of breath or but that's because I work out every day. So you just be cautious if you're coming out here. Make sure you give yourself a break. Go easy on the confidence of New Mexico. If I don't see why we should go easy on the confidence of New Mexico, Forrest Fenn lives in New Mexico. He's lived in New Mexico since 1972, right? That means he's lived in New Mexico for nearly 50 years. Where else would he hide the treasure? GTC Nights. Oh, you know what? That's Greg, isn't it? Hi, Greg. You did have a wrench once. You did, but what did you do? You didn't do anything wrong. You were busy. Sermon says, Gypsy Kiss, come up to West Yellowstone this summer. I'll show you some of the best fishing holes on the Madison. I'd like to do that. I may, I promised Tony Henman that I'd come up and do some fishing in Idaho, so I might as well stop by Madison. But the more and more you think about it, the places we were at today were really isolated. So first of all, it's an hour and a half from Fenn's house, and it's isolated. We saw a couple of other vehicles, including our friend in the Lincoln. But there's nobody up there. If you went up there, in the area that we would call where warm waters halt, there was a vehicle. We saw the vehicle. We didn't see the person driving the vehicle because they were probably hiking. But you could go up there and hide a treasure, and nobody would ever know it. And you can get right off. Well, I'll show you some pictures. Show you some pictures and some video. LR says, put me down for Montana in June. Okay, LR, I'm going to do that. Montana. I'm gonna give this sticky note to Shelley because she's keeping the rooster roster. LR, Montana in June. So let's give you till the end of June. How's that? All right. You have till the end of June, LR, to come back with it. GTC says I'm from Western New York and Wyoming didn't affect me. No, it always affects you. You just have to be cautious. Just, did you go off the man-made trails? Absolutely. And I'm going to show you what that's like because we made some video of that as well. One of the things, the problem is I forgot to put my dead cat on my microphone. Actually, I put it on, and then it was getting away the Osmo lens, so I took it off, and that was a mistake because there's a reason we use dead cats. Roger Garcia says, what would you say is the best way to fly Wyoming from Texas to get to Yellowstone? What airport would get me the closest? The West Yellowstone Airport would get you the closest, but there are no major airlines. You're going to fly either to, Butte, Montana. Butte or Billings, Montana are the major airlines that will get you the closest. But you can fly the smaller airlines to West Yellowstone. I think I found a small airline to West Yellowstone. Sternworm, Montana, June. Sternworm and LR are competing for Montana in June. Both up there looking for the treasure. What do you think the odds are? They're looking in the same place. Oh, okay, so generally speaking, LR and Sternworm kind of put a general area. You're looking for the treasure to see. Let's see who's going to come up with it, because it can't be. They can't. In what 6 years, 7 years, 9. Let's see, 2020. 8 years of doing this, I've never heard two theories that were exactly the same. Especially the Montana ones, because Montana is the big sky state. Bozeman Airport, yeah. Bozeman, that's right, not Butte. Bozeman, yeah. Let's see, I like Bozeman. Mel Rustad, our good friend and fellow searcher. I don't know why my headset is so loud. Wow. Can you be a frog instead of a rooster? Alan, you can be whatever you want. This is that kind. This is America. You can, if you want to be a frog, you can be a frog, and some people can be roosters. Okay, so that's a whole bunch of questions in the room. The MTP was probably just coming in for a little bit because she said she was going to go home, take a hot bath, get into her jammies, and Netflix and chill tonight. So, Sermon says he's searching Hebgen. Where's LR? Is LR, are you in Hebgen like too? LR, Brit Chaser's in the room. Where do you support a Brit Chaser? There he is, out of Bozeman Airport. Yeah. Okay, so let me start with some photographs. Let me see, how do I want to do this? Because this is a lot of stuff, guys. This is, let's go to screenshot. And so these are Shelly's iPhone. Let's do to Kevin's Android. Let me see if they're kind of set by. So Kevin looks like he didn't start shooting until we were at the top of the mountain. So, and he went walking up. So this is an area that, so how do I want to say this? This is the area where within 200 feet of where warm waters halt. And that's what it looks like at the top. A lot of ponderosa, Douglas fir. I mean, it's definitely mountainous. And as I said, this is 9,400 feet. So beautiful views wherever you were of the mountains. There's the MTP smiling back. Isn't she adorable? And so this is what you find up here. You find these trails, but it's hard to tell what they are. You don't see tire tracks. You don't even see footprints. We think some of them may be animal trails. Now, one of the good pieces of news is that up here, there's cows. There's they've leased, the Forest Service has leased some of this area to land people, cattle ranchers, to graze their cows. And the reason you can do that, I think I got another picture of that. Let me see if I've got mine. Hold on. So, like I said, these aren't, unfortunately, very organized. So, let me see. Where did I put those pictures? Oh, you know where those are? Those are in the uploads. Downloads, not uploads. Let me see. Which direction am I going here? Ugh. Nope. We uploaded the wrong ones, guys. These are the small versions. You can't even see them. Dang nabbit. Yeah. I'm going to have to get those back for you. So my uploads did not take. So let's go back here. Nope. Dang nabbit. Dang nabbit. All right. So let me get the few photos that I did get on my iPhone. So this is the area where we're at. We were at the Santa Fe National Forest at the Borrego Mesa campground. And this is one of those totally unimproved campgrounds. They did have potties there, but they welded the doors shut. And then people had tried to blow the doors off with shotgun rounds. So that's, God bless America, you know? So this is the MTP, and she is sitting within 100 feet of where warm waters halt. Let me put it that way. But the point that I was going to make is you can tell cattle have been up here because this is all this grass is grazed. That's why it's so short. Nobody comes up here with a lawnmower with a John Deere and mows the lawn. This is all grazed. The point that I was going to make is when you have cattle grazing up there, that means there's no predators around. And this was a shot that I had of Kevin. He was setting up the GoPro on the front of the truck because I want to give you a sense of the kind of roads that we were dealing with that puts us in this isolated area. So let me go back and see how I'm going to do this. So Mavic, those are the drone shots. Osmo. Okay, so here was my problem. So these are shot with a camera that's a 3-axis gimbal, right? Oh, so I just got a message from the MTP. And she says Kevin figured out where the trailhead is and possible Homo Brown. Ooh, yeah, baby. We're on to this. So this is me and the MTP and having a good time up there in the mountains. Beautiful. It was just beautiful. This was at the Borrego Mesa campground. And then this is the map that we used. Remember, I showed it to you last week. This is the True Trust map. Of course, I always take a GPS, a Garmin GPS with us. And so we know where we are, and we set. Now, this was the thing that disappointed me. So I don't know how many of you know what a dead cat is, but besides being a dead cat is one of those furry microphone covers that you see on news reporters have sometimes. Well, I had one, and it was right in front of the lens, so I took it off, and this is what happened. You can hear it. So I'm going to have to do some editing. See that sound? That's the sound that the wind makes when you don't have the dead cat on the microphone, because that's what a dead cat does. It neutralizes that wind sound into a shotgun. This is called a shotgun mic. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. So we're gonna have to go back up there. But this is the area. This is the Borrego campground. As I said, it's unimproved, but it's really a beautiful campground. It has, see these things over here? Those are horse stalls. So it's an area where people bring their trailers up with horses, and they'll ride on some of these trails. But it was easy to get off trail. I mean, we spent most of our day off trail actually. So, and this is what I regret here, is because I wanted to get the MTP doing some work when we stopped for lunch.
Shelley, tell us what you think about this area up here.
Well, it's just beautiful. I could totally see coming up here if I lived in Santa Fe and just getting away from everybody and everything, and listening to the breeze and the birds and smelling the sunshine.
And what's interesting about this is that it's the biggest campground in the area. It's Memorial Day weekend. It wasn't a difficult drive up here. We kept it in two-wheel drive. And what would you say of the drive up here?
It was easy. The road's narrow, but there's nobody else coming the other way, so it wasn't a big deal.
And right now, as I check, we're at 8,545 feet.
No,
so
my
the
watch
altitude
was wrong.
nice. We just stopped here at the Borrego campground to have a quick lunch. But as
Visit
you
with the
can
moo-moos.
see,
With the moo-moos.
it's very isolated. Now we still have about another mile, Kevin, to go.
I think it's isolated too because there's no water nearby. So
Wait, say that again.
I think it's isolated partly because there's no water nearby, so people can't just let's fish or play in the water. People have a thing about being by water.
So we saw a couple of creeks down in the valley, but coming up the road, we saw that the creek that followed the road downhill was dry. What does that say to the people that feel like Fenn has to be fishing all the time?
Well, I was thinking about that, and there's several quotes that I've read over the past few videos where he talks about just taking out his plane, flying somewhere, landing, getting in a car, and going just to sit by the lake or the river, or just look at the animals and be in the trees. He didn't need to fish. He didn't take his fishing equipment with him on his airplane trips, He just got away. He just wanted to get away and be by himself. driving take about an hour and a half at the most.
At the most, yeah.
Yeah.
So he could drive up here and find the kind of isolation that he wanted. I think I'm just surprised that literally I was expecting to have some traffic up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it is
Especially this
Memorial Day weekend. So we are taking
We saw
advantage
some cows.
of the map that I showed you guys. Kevin's doing our...
So that was one area, but I want to show you when we got to where warm waters halt. And
are going down the canyon.
so this is the
And
equivalent
you're going down the canyon
of a trail,
gentle
right?
slope,
So you're headed down. The trail, there's obviously something there,
and not...
but it's not a well-traveled trail,
You can
right?
see
You can.
there's activity.
It's more like an animal trail. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt your ears with that. We'll have to go back and do that again because there's no way to. There's no audio editor on Earth that's going to fix that. That's what I get for not using that damn dead cat. Okay. So this was Shelly's iPhone. Let's see what she got. So that's the Borrego Mesa campground. Lots of purple and yellow flowers everywhere. So this is right at the top. There's a little bit further to go to the top, but this is where warm waters halt. And I'm not going to explain that to you today until we've been back up there and we have just a little bit more information about it. This is canyon down. Now it doesn't look like it's going down the canyon, but it's actually going down the canyon. There's some yellow flowers. And that gives you a size of the dimensions here. And again, this is not intentionally cleared. Now we are in an area here that allows firewood cutting, but you can't cut down when you do fire, even no matter who you are. If you're doing firewood cutting, you can't cut down live trees. You have to cut firewood from either dead trees or fallen, again, a lot of yellow and purple flowers. So this is kind of what we're finding. This is the equivalent of a trail there. It's not traveled. This one right here, that you can tell there was some clear parts, but it's not a trail in the classic sense. Does that need rotating? Hang on. Let me rotate this here. There we go. And we always find other people's trash up there, so we pick up what we can. But it's pretty dense. It is very foresty, and like I said, it's a mix of, low coniferous scrub, juniper trees, Douglas firs, ponderosa pine, and aspen. And this is at about the 9,400 foot. There was a fire that came through here several years ago. What's been 20 years now. So some of the damage still shows. But again, it looks like the lawn has been mowed, but it's not. That's grazing. And that's not, what that tells us is if you got grazing, that means there's cattle up here, and that means the cattle aren't afraid of the predators. So, and the cattlemen that allow their cattle to graze there aren't afraid of the predators. So I think that's it from Shelly's camera. So let me go back. I'm going to show you, I wanted to give you an idea. Now this is kind of a long video because I'm going to move it forward here. Because what I did is I asked Kevin to set the GoPro on the hood of the, and this is shot at 4K. So this is actually downhill, and I don't know where I've got that little squeak. It's not that old a car, but it's developed a little rattle of some kind that I'm going to have to take back to the turn that down a little bit. To that down, so you can see this is what's called a forest road. If you ever see it on a map and it says FR and it has a number, this is what the forest road looks like. This is going back downhill, and although you can't tell it in the slope, that the places that you have to slow down. So at this point, I put it into four-wheel drive, and I put it into a low gear because I didn't like I don't like using my brakes on the downhill. I like using my, I learned from my father, using the transmission in low gear and four-wheel drive to keep you at a reasonable pace. And honestly, this looks this looks a lot faster than I was driving. I don't think I don't feel like I was driving that fast. But this is the kind of thing that gets you in the mountains north of Santa Fe to an area that's isolated. And that's what you want. You want an area that's isolated enough that you can hide a treasure without anybody knowing there. But again, we're an hour and a half away from Forrest Fenn's house. And again, there was a guy coming the other direction. I don't think I got him in this shot, but there was a guy coming the other direction, and he was driving a Lincoln Continental. So this is not a road, you know, it doesn't even indicate. It says Forest Road, and it doesn't say that it's four-wheel drive. This is, I drove up this road going the other direction. I drove up this road in two-wheel drive in my vehicle. And it's a pickup truck, so it's lighter on the rear end than it is on the front. And it was no problem. There was just no problem driving up this road. But the point is, this is the kind of isolation that I like looking for. This reminds me of the area around up above in the Rio Grande National Forest in Colorado, above the Rio de los Pinos. It's a lot like this, except the last road to the Rio de los Pinos, it's a little bit more narrow and off the edge of the cliff. But this was a nice little comfortable, you know, bumpy dirt forest road, but not any not anything that would prevent somebody. We kept asking, could a sedan get up here? And the answer is yes. Although, honestly, I'll repeat this, I've said it before, Forrest Fenn to me is not a sedan kind of guy. I don't get that. He's an outdoorsman, and he's not going to drive into the outdoors with a sedan. He's going to drive a multi-drive vehicle, even if he doesn't use it just for safety's sake. Nobody's going to do that. So anyway, I wanted to shoot this just so you guys have an idea of the kind of roads that we were dealing with up there. So let me do a little bit of the Mavic. So this is the Mavic following Shelly and Kevin. Let me see, what's this one? I think this is before they went. This is before they went canyon down. So let me just get it closer, because I did move the Mavic up on them, and this is them. So this is action, you know. This computer is going to have a little bit of time, a little bit of a hard time getting through this, because it's shot at 4K and 60 frames, and that's shot with the drone, just following them down canyon down. And again, that's a canyon, and I don't know if you call it a trail. I don't know what you call it, right? It's not a road. It may have been a road at one time, but it hasn't been used in years. You can tell because there's no disturbances, and it's not hiked a lot. There was no footprints. It's just that kind of thing. So eventually it narrows up quite a bit, and what you're looking for at that point is a place to hide the treasure. And honestly, there were lots of places to hide the treasure, as usual. So I think I just walked the drone back. After I left them, I walked the drone back towards the truck along the same trail. So, wow, this 4K is choking this poor graphics card. Of course, I'm live streaming too, so. So this is headed back, and again, it almost looks like it's a manicured lawn, but it's not. It's just grazed. There's just all the grass has been grazed. There's all your little yellow flowers. The drone, this particular drone, is very stable. The only thing that we're dealing right here is that it's 4K 60p, and it's dealing with me live streaming on the graphics card. Is it? Yeah, see this, the CPU is at 85% right now, and this is a Xeon processor. So let me see what else we got. Let's do this and close that, and Oh, I just wanted to get a shot of the area to show you how pretty it was. It was just, so this is just a photograph. This is where warm waters halt. This is shot from where warm waters halt, and that's the trail that that Shelley and Kevin were on. You can see it's beautiful, very isolated, north of Santa Fe, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to keep repeating that because then I'm going to sound like I'm just rubbing it in. But so this, I think, was a droney, yeah. Wow. Okay, so this looks a lot better when I'm not live streaming simultaneously because we're just chewing up graphics performance right now. So those trees that are about 100 feet, and I think I went to around 300 feet. That's looking back down the valley. And right here, let me stop this. Let me show you. Let me wait till it gets a little bit higher. So right here, this area right there, that's what I'd call high desert. That's at 7,000 to, I don't know, 7,400 feet. And that's high desert. You see pinon, you see sagebrush. You don't see any of the tall coniferous trees up there. You have to get up to where we were. And this was, if I remember correctly, this was about 9,400 feet. So, but it's a beautiful country. Just beautiful. Let me go back again and see if we can. Let me see what else we got here. So I think this is facing the other direction. Yeah. So this is with my back to the truck, facing the other direction at where warm waters halt. So we'll eventually use these as some of our, we do these as outros, you know, because they run, by that time I've edited them down to 20 seconds. And let me see, what's this? Oh, that's just me with the drone. To controlling the drone. So, like I said, I apologize for this. Oh, so these guys, this is Kevin and Shelley coming back from the trail down the canyon. So, and as you can see, now I do take a survival kit is in the back of the truck, but in the backpack, there's things like the GPS. We take two-way radios with us. We take water and some trail mix just to be safe. But we don't feel like we're, in emergency survival mode when we're up there. You could get yourself in trouble if you ended up in a thunderstorm or something like that, and you might want to stay overnight, which we have done. Jason and I had to stay overnight on the Rio Rancho because we couldn't get back up the other side of the valley. But we don't feel like you're in danger here. So let me go back and see what kinds of questions there are here. Let's see. LR, we've never left the chase, right? We don't leave the chase. We just don't. Yeah, we didn't see any of that heavy loads. We didn't see any. We didn't see any of that. Well, that's why we're comfortable, and we saw the cows around us. So, yeah, there could be predators, but you don't see that many. Kathy, we saw the brush fires on the way back. They were near Golondrinas, near what's that town around Golondrinas? I never remembered. We actually passed by it. People were pulling off the road. The crawl says it's the 1, 2, 3 of May. Let me see what it says here. Gotta fix the crawl, for gosh sakes. Hang on. Saturday scrolling text. All right, let me fix that real quick. It is the 23rd. 23rd of May. There we go. I'll fix that. All right. Thank you. That's the MTP. Yeah, LR, we never have gotten out of the chase. We said we were going to step back until we had a better theory, and we have a better theory. Heavy loads, we don't dip the toe in the water because we do not believe that warm water salt has anything to do with water. So, what was your no place for the meek? We're not going to share that right now. Heavy loads, we'll save that. Let's see. I like a little bit more weight on the rear end. Yeah, that's kinky, I think, GTC. Sherry from Pennsylvania says, I love this, seeing peeps out searching. Nice to watch. Thanks. You're welcome. Glad you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it's not very well edited. We'll get it edited out better. I know Alex Knickerbocker, Journeyman, I can assure you that this is one of those cases, as having been doing my own editing for 30 years now. This is one of those cases where we're going to be able to fix that. Did you see something that could be considered the blaze? No, but we weren't looking for that. We were looking for the first 3, maybe 4 clues, and we're comfortable that we've got those. It is higher than 7,000 to 8,000 feet, but that's not, you got to remember, this is Shelley's theory. So I'm having to go with what she's coming up with because she's my partner, and honestly, I feel like it's a pretty good theory. I was impressed. I thought we found a lot of, does it still say that it's the 23rd of May? 1, 2, 3 of May? Hang on. Hold on. So Shelley's is texting me saying that the crawl is off. No, I fixed it. I fixed the crawl. All right, so that was our trip today. It was a good trip. We were very busy. We enjoyed it. It's very easy to imagine that this being an hour and a half, literally when we were at the top of that mountain, 9,400 feet, where warm water salt, it would be very easy for us to imagine that Forrest could get from his house, literally, we measured it, from his house to that location in an hour and a half. And that includes 45 minutes up the road that you saw, because that's how long it took us. It's the last 45 minutes are, is it 45? Maybe it was closer to 35. The last 35 minutes are Forest Road. Up until that, it's 4-lane highway, followed by 6-lane highway, followed by 2-lane highway, and 55-mile-an-hour speeds, even on the 2 lanes. And then, you know, I mean, it was just a good day for us. We had a great day, and I feel like we're back on track, and I'm excited because this is, you know, Shelley's been doing a lot of work recently on the words and her research, and this is a direct result of that. And I think she's really onto something. And I'm not going to, the last thing that I want to do at this point is create obstacles like it's not between 7,200 and 7,800, whatever it is that I did. I'm not going to do that because every searcher is entitled to their own theory and work it out until they prove to themselves that it's not there, and that happens to all of us. In my case, 35 times. And so I'm not gonna critique that it's not the altitude that I imagine for my theory. It's her theory, and right now, I think she's onto something, and so I'm gonna go with it. I mean, I don't have anything better, and I think she's really onto something in terms of the direction she's heading with this. I'm damn impressed. I'll tell you what, I've seen hundreds of these things, maybe thousands at this point, seen and heard. This is the first one that I've said to myself, I'll follow this one. And that's not just because she's my partner. I'll follow this one because I think she's got it. I think she's got it working. So there we are. All right, phone lines are open. You can reach out to us. I probably don't do texts tonight. I'm not going to do texts. I will do inbound phone calls. So if you want to call, say hi, you're welcome to do that. The phone lines are open, 202-815-1171. Let's talk about anything, including what we did today, what we saw today, because I think the Magical Treasure Princess is on to something. Hey, Ken from Oklahoma, what's up? What do you want to talk about, brother?
Oh, hey, how's it going? I didn't know you were going to pick up. Hey, yeah, I'll keep it short because since you're just doing phones, I won't bogart too much time. Hey, my question for yourself is, do you guys anticipate getting to a point where you're going to have eyesight to the falls?
So you're talking about Kamado Falls?
Right.
Yeah. No, we don't need to. And the reason is, from where we were today, right? The trek to the falls is about 8 miles over trails that run along ridge lines that are 9,200 feet plus.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's what I didn't really look at the map too close. I was just wondering if there would be anywhere where you could get off path, but standard 10-2 and have a line of sight, even if it's 5 miles to the fall.
No. There might be, you can get a line of sight to the falls across the valley from that last ridge line, but at that point you're within 2 miles of the falls, and that's an 8-mile trek, and it's a 3,500 foot. It's a 3,500 foot gain in altitude.
Right.
So
that's what I saw the other day. So now this could fit in with the comments about how people have walked right past the treasure because people are going towards a destination like the falls.
Yeah.
Might have something there.
Yeah. What the MTP has come up with is where warm waters halt has nothing to do with waters, and when she pointed it out to me, I was really surprised and kind of I was hesitant, I was hesitant to kind of accept it, but when I saw it today, I think she's right. And I think there's options for Canyon Down, and I think there is a possibility that you can do this entire solution, the entire poem, and never see a drop of water.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm happy to see you guys excited about it anyhow. Hey, so I believe, just from what I've seen so far, that I know you're No Place for the Meek, but I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
And so I'll be curious what you come up with for the Home of Brown. And, hey, I'll keep it short and just say good luck.
Well,
keep going. And I'm glad to see you guys excited. That's good.
So one of the things that we had to do when we were up there was we weren't trusting the coordinates in terms of our launching off point. So Kevin and I both took lat longs in several locations, and we promised each other that when we got back to the house, although I've got to do a show, that we would check out our lat longs. And I just got a message from Shelley, and she says, Kevin figured out where the trailhead is and a possible Home of Brown. And so he's got, I haven't had a chance to talk to them. So he's got something that we kind of had a feeling when we were up there. We just weren't sure.
Yeah, that's good. I heard that earlier in the show. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, before I hang up, let somebody else waste your time. I got just 1 minute. This is something that was pretty funny. So the other night was the Dismal Tide, right?
Dismal Tide. It's the dismal. It's what I feel every time Rio Grande Joe calls me. It feels like the Dismal Tide.
So I finished the show and I went to like YouTube Home, and there was a thing on there like top 5 things you wouldn't imagine in the world that exist. Yeah. So there's these bioluminescent cave worms in New Zealand, right? Yeah. And they showed pictures. They're pretty amazing. So I'm like, oh, let me see if there's anything like that in America. one place in America, Dismal Caverns, Alabama.
Dismal Caverns, yeah. Well, he just says
Alabama.
it. And like I said, it's part of the movie. And he's meeting with his sheriff that comes from another town, and they're trying to follow this. If you've ever seen the movie, it's
one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a very complex movie,
favorites.
And you can tell this poor sheriff is just feeling terrible about all of this. And so
I almost got in a fist fight over that movie. I begged people to watch it at work. Saying, "Man, this has got to be like one of the top 5 movies ever made." And they're just like, whatever. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, it
was one of those. Yeah, I love that movie.
There are a couple of movies that when they come on, one of the like Showtime, I'll watch it even though I've seen it before. And one of them is No Country for Old Men, and the other is Heat. Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Maybe. Robert De Niro, yeah. I am. If I've seen it, it's been many, many years ago, so I'll maybe give that another look. So one thing, first time I saw No Country, it was such a nice surprise for me. Is I just love that guy who plays his dad.
Yeah.
Who was in a TV show called Northern Exposure.
Right. Yeah.
Great show.
The one that's he's crippled and he lives in a house where he's drinking cold coffee, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. There's a scene at the end where. The character played by Tommy Lee Jones and his wife are sitting. By this time he's retired, and he's kind of trying to figure out what to do with himself. And there is a YouTube video that you have to watch that says, "Didn't understand that last scene in No Country for Old Men? Here's what it means." And find it on YouTube. The last scene in No Country for Old Men, because I thought it was beautifully explained. You all go like, "Wait, what? Stop! That's not the end of the movie." So it's a great flick.
I will do. All right.
All right.
And keep having fun, and I'll let you go.
We're having a great time. Thank you.
All right.
You have a good evening, Ken. Bye-bye.
All right.
Let's see. Heavy loads. We didn't have. So here's the problem with clues in advance. You don't actually know if you have any clues solved before you go out. You have a sense, but until your boots on the ground, you're not going to know. Nobody knows until you're there. And I would have that debate with anyone. You kind of have an imagination. And when we went out, exactly like the little girl in India, we had the first 2 clues, and you know what? They worked out. That's even better. Hey, Orlando, what's your name? And actually, I shouldn't say that. It just says Orlando. Where are you calling from, and what do you want to talk about?
It's actually good that you said that with me. Vermont. Even though, I'm Vermont at the moment.
Yeah.
And House of Brown is what I was wanting to talk about.
Okay, go ahead. It's actually Home of Brown.
Home of Brown.
Yeah. Put in below the Home of Brown.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not making that up. That's what it says.
No, I know you're not. My bad.
So what do you want to talk about?
So, sorry, I'm lowering this so that I don't get distracted.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea.
Okay, so basically, I have been watching you guys for a little while, and I know that at first you guys were diehard about it being in New Mexico, which at first I was as well.
We still are.
Okay, so that's what was one of my questions, is you still are diehard of it being in New Mexico?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you think that the Home of Brown is in New Mexico then as well?
We believe all 9 clues are in the mountains north of Santa Fe before you get to Colorado. Yes.
So one of the last things that I watched with you guys, I'm including myself, even though I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about other states and considerations about it being in other states. Are we still considering that, or
who is we?
We meaning you, Shelley, and me.
Did you just make yourself a member of our team? So
no, I didn't. But I was on the same page for that episode, so that's why I said we.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We believe, we being me and Shelley, We believe that everyone should have a theory about where this treasure is that works for them. Okay? And then they should invoke or implement that theory. And they should then learn from that invocation, meaning they should go out with an open mind, following the clues as they imagine them. And then if they don't find the treasure, then revise their theory so that it takes advantage of what they've learned. So we learned some things today. We didn't find the treasure. We validated our first two clues. We believe that we got closer to clue number 3, the home of Brown, put in below the home of Brown. But we've got some more research to do, because we don't believe, it is our opinion based on what Fenn has said, is this is not a one-day adventure. No good treasure hunt is a one-day thing. You're not going to walk out. I don't care. I can confidently predict that anybody who thinks they have all 9 clues, they're going to show up at the where warm waters halt, and they're going to walk through their 9 clues, never having been there before, and they're going to walk out with a treasure. I will bet money that's not going to happen. Here's what's going to happen to the person who finds that treasure. They're going to resolve each clue one at a time, and they're going to document that resolution, and eventually they're going to have spent so much time in that area, the area that they're confident that they've resolved all these clues over 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or 20 trips, right? I think what you have to do is be confident about your first 2 clues, and if you validate it, go back. We're going back next week. We're going back to exactly the same location next week.
And I hear you. Now, what if, let's just say what if, right? I feel like I have the home of Brown. And what would you say for someone who wanted to start there?
I would tell you what Forrest Fenn would say. He said, don't start at the home of Brown. Don't start at the Blaze. Start at where warm waters halt, and follow the clues in consecutive order, contiguous order. And I think one time he used a temporal comparison. I think it was a mistake when he said it, but he used consecutive, contiguous, and I can't remember. It's another C word. But I once made a video that said the equivalent of, I know where the first 2 clues are. I'm comfortable. I know what they are. Screw the rest of them. I'm just going to go look in that area for the treasure. And he was very upset that I would do that to his poem. He wrote the poem. It was written so that you would follow the clues in order straight to the treasure. And it is not written so that you choose to do that. It is written so that you must do that. So ignoring the first 2 clues and going straight to what you think is the home of Brown is going to be a disappointment. I can confidently predict it's going to be a disappointment for you. But I don't know how you get to the home of Brown without getting through Warm Waters Halt and Canyon Down. I don't know how you do that. I've been on, today was recon number 36. And I can tell you it doesn't happen that way. I've been in all 4 treasure states with 36 different attempts, and it just doesn't happen that way. You won't know until you get out there. I'm assuming that if you're in Vermont, you haven't been in the Rocky Mountains yet to invoke your theory.
So
is that correct?
That's actually where I'm packing up. Literally, I have like probably 70% of my stuff packed.
Yeah.
And we're making our trip here within the next couple weeks. So that's what the goal is to do this summer, is to go out there and go to where I believe it is, the home of Brown.
Yeah.
And follow the rest of the poem. I definitely, I was headed to New Mexico. I would say 2 weeks ago, I for sure that was our destination, was New Mexico. It is not anymore. because I feel like I have found the home of brown.
Uh-huh.
But that is, and I hear what you're saying. And I also, I think that if while headed to what I believe is the home of brown would, I think I would naturally do those other clues. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's what to do. As I just recommended to somebody else, invoke your theory, go find out, learn from it, and then learn what you have to do next.
Right.
Woody Boggs is saying, wow, if I did 36, I'd probably give up. That's the person that gives up isn't going to find this treasure, because every recon you go out, you learn one more thing about the treasure hunt, about the poem, about the location, about yourself. It's a learning experience. He has often said you are not going to find this on a Sunday afternoon picnic or your 2-week-long spring break. That's not how treasure hunts work. They don't work that way. You're not going to walk out one day, drive from Vermont, walk out one day, and walk back with a treasure. It's just not going to happen that way. It's not set up that way. You can tell it's not set up that way, because if it was set up that way, we've been, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, I don't know for certain, of people have looked for this treasure over the past 10 years. And the closest we have to someone having any kind of success is that some people were within 200 feet, had figured out the first 2 clues, were within 200 feet, and then walked right past the treasure.
Right.
Right. So that should indicate to you that it's just not as easy as one time out there. It's going to take 36. It may take 50, because every time we go out, we learn something new about the poem, about the land, about geology, about permanency, about driving forest roads, or about ourselves. I mean, I'd like to say, considering how long I've been doing this, and how many times I've been doing this, and how much I've written about it, made videos, I'd like to say I'm at this point, I feel like I'm an expert at looking for this treasure.
Right.
But that's it. I'm not an expert at finding this treasure. I'm an expert at looking for this treasure. Which is,
that's kind of, I've taken other people's, I feel like I've listened to other people's and what they think that their theories are.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't agreed with any of them. And the theory that I do have, I haven't heard anyone else with it, which is why I'm confident.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's and as I suggest, if you have that kind of confidence, the best thing that you can do for yourself is go invoke that. And then learn,
which is why the reason that, and that is me moving. Like I'm not going on a trip to, where I'm going. I'm moving.
Wait. Are you moving to start looking for the treasure, or is this something associated with something that you wanted to do, other than the treasure?
Well, I move all the time, anyways. But this move is for the treasure.
Oh, interesting. Well, I've known people who have done that. One of the early treasure hunters, whose name was Katia Luce, I think she still lives in Taos. She moved from Hawaii. She heard about it. She was living in Maui, and if you've ever been to Maui, it's a hard place to leave.
That's why I won't go to Hawaii anytime soon, because I don't think I will leave.
Yeah.
So I want to go when I'm older.
Yeah. She left Hawaii, moved to Taos, and became a literally full-time treasure hunter for this treasure back in, it was probably the 2013-14 time frame. And then actually she was so good that in when was that? That was 2016 or 17. She was one of the searchers that Josh Gates had on Expeditions Unknown when he was covering the Forrest Fenn treasure. They were up in the Rio Grande before Forrest Fenn said it's not in the Rio Grande.
I lived in Socorro. I'm not sure if you know where that is. That's about 70 miles south of Albuquerque.
That's New Mexico Tech.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I've lived there for a few months on my travels before. And I have, adventured around New Mexico plenty. And I mean, New Mexico is amazing because you can see desert, and then you can see snowy top mountains, and then you can see canyons, and then you can see foresty, green lush. So I mean, it's actually one of the places that they do a lot of movies at just for that. And that's where I stayed, was someone who owned a home out there for location scout.
Right.
And so I have been in New Mexico before. And like I said, I thought for sure just learning everything about, I mean, at first that's where I was like, we're going to New Mexico. But it's the House of Brown or the home of Brown, excuse me, the home of Brown that has got me changing locations.
Well, good. Try it out. See what you learn. Call me back.
I will.
Right. Call me back to tell me what you learned, or call me back to tell me you found the treasure and I was wrong.
Okay. I would honestly prefer the second one. But I will do so either way.
One of the things that you have to learn hunting for this treasure is it depends on your personality, but it's going to be either flexibility or agility. Because it's flexibility to try out new things, but it's agility to change based on what you've learned, what you discover when you're out there. So, Captain, you said you were in Vermont, right now?
I do live in Vermont at the moment. I've lived everywhere though: Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, Virginia.
Is that because of your business or your personal choice? You just like moving around?
I like moving around. I like adventure, and I like hiking, and I like just doing different things that are natural. So this is right up my alley, to be fair.
And are you independently wealthy, or do you make a living at what you're doing?
I would say that I always have what I need when I need it. But I wouldn't say that I'm independently wealthy until I find this treasure, right?
Well, it's independently wealthy is going to be fun to see how people do with this treasure, because I think you face some challenges when you find it. So, well, we can talk about that we'll talk about that after you find the treasure.
I'm still keeping it under my bed for 30 days and making sure that I make right choices.
Good. That's the smart thing to do. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. You have a good evening, and we look forward to hearing from you after your upcoming adventure out to the Rocky Mountains.
I will do so. I will call back.
We look forward to it.
All right.
You have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
See, why can't Joe, if you're listening to me, Rio Grande Joe, make a call like that. That call at 14 minutes, it went by like it was nothing. Right, Joe? Don't be the dismal tide. It's a dismal tide when you're calling there, Joe. Yeah, Sassy, that's probably right. She sounds single, independent, and able to do that kind of thing, and living off her, like I say, wits, because she can travel when she wants. She makes that decision. She sounds like she likes it. One of my daughters, my youngest daughter, loves traveling, but she happens to work for a company that enables her to do that. But any chance she gets to, well, of course now we can't do any kind of traveling, but she's the traveler, and that's kind of how I was. Although I was, I was not single. I was raising a family of 6, and but I loved moving around. I loved the whole travel thing. Okay, we do have a voicemail that I'm going to play. Oh, there's a voicemail from the United Kingdom here. 2 of them. Whoa. 3 of them. It's from the UK. Let's see what we got here. I hope it isn't the guy whose car I wrecked. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully it didn't...
Hi, Toby. It's Sean from the UK. Can you give us an email back? It's SeanIves78@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I think the way you guys are going about it, you're completely wrong. You need to totally re-engineer everything. Thanks a lot. Bye.
We're totally wrong. Nobody has a treasure, including us, so we can't be wrong. We can only learn, right? So nobody's wrong in all of this.
Hi, Toby. How are you doing? I've not been following Trace long, but I think you should re-engineer it and go from the front to the back. Bye.
So one of the things that if you're new to the search, you're going to discover that convincing anyone else to change their theory based on your thoughts is nearly impossible. It is rare that I've heard somebody change their mind based on someone else's theories. And the reason is your theory is just as good as their theory until the treasure is found. So the best thing to do is, rather than telling everybody else they're wrong or they need to re-engineer, they're not going to listen to you anyway. So just work on yours. Don't worry about anybody else's, especially if you believe that everybody else's theories are wrong, right? If you think my theory is wrong, then it's not going to help you to tell me that my theory is wrong. Work on your theory. MTP.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Did
the
you have a
word
good...
you were looking for was chronological.
Chronological. So is...
I was shouting it at the TV, but you didn't hear me.
Oh, I'm sorry. So those are the three things. Who do I need to say that to? Oh, the young woman that called, or the young lady that called from Vermont. The three things that, the three C's that Fenn used to describe the clues are contiguous, continuous,
consecutive.
Oh no, contiguous, consecutive, and chronological.
Chronological.
Thank you. I'm glad you do all of that research. Did you have a good time today?
I did.
Yeah.
But when we got home and we looked at the map.
Uh-huh.
Right? So do you know when we parked at the top and then you were walking down the road a ways, and Kevin went off in the other direction, and I was standing there at the truck wondering why nobody took a walkie-talkie with him.
Yeah.
And then you kind of walked on a road to your right.
Down again.
You walked up the road towards
where
the guy drove the truck later.
Yes.
But you took a road to your right.
Yes, right. I remember that one because I regretted not taking my walking. It was very loose, and so I regretted not taking my walking stick. But I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. So that road, if you walk a half a mile on that road, that's where the trailhead is.
Wow.
And you know what it ends at? A clearing that is private property. Just a circle that is private property in the middle of all this public and forest and everything, public land and forest land.
So how do you get, so let's say that road is not, you would need an ATV, for example, some of those ATVs that we saw today.
Or you just walk it.
Or you just walk the half mile, but at some point, it got to get less difficult to walk. I did see some tire tracks on that road, but they were not truck tire tracks. They were ATV tire tracks. So the question, so that's supposed to be
there might be somebody, there would look like from the map that we saw, the Google map, looked like there was some sort of small building on that private piece of land in that clearing. So I don't know if somebody owns it because they, have cattle feed there, or what it is, why it's in the middle of nowhere like that. But I imagine they drive that road in some sort of vehicle, like even if it's an ATV or something.
So, hang on just a sec. So how would you can you get around the property to get to 153?
The trail goes just at the edge of that property.
But you'd have to walk around the property.
Around it. Yeah, it's just an island of private property.
Right. But you can get around the private property in order to get to let me just take a look real quick.
It didn't look like it was a huge, you can kind of see it's a different color on the map. It's not huge. It's just a small island of private property out there.
Are you looking at Google Earth?
You saw it on Google Earth, right? BLM map.
I don't have that. Which BLM map is it?
Do you know which quad? Kevin's going to look. But yeah, if you look at that area that we were in today, you can see that road is it ends in the trail that we were looking for.
So I
And
was
then
on the
there's
right
private property
road.
there. Yeah, you were. But we didn't know that, right?
No,
'Cause,
we
like,
didn't
there's
at
all
the
those
time.
roads, all those little side roads
That's
and
why
cuts. And,
we kind of knew that this was too easy, right? In the sense that it has to be something more than this. So
yeah.
yeah,
So that private property,
yeah.
we need to find out who owns that and why. You see what I'm saying?
Why do we need to find that out? Do we need?
What's the name of the person that owns that piece of property? Not in the middle of nowhere. Is it Brown? Marino?
Marin? Maroon? All right. I guess that's what we need to do. Do me a favor, and if Kevin has the lat long, tell him to send it to me, would you please?
Yeah.
Just so I'll go to the BLM website because I can get their maps. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to find it on the quads, but if I can find it on the BLM.
I know that I've seen it before. I saw it when we were looking at the trailhead before, but it was, so small. But you can kind of see the differentiation
I remember
in colors.
it's kind of a half moon shaped. It's not quite round.
Right.
But I kind of remember it where the red arrow that says TM, right? Or TH rather.
Something like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And you can, that map that we looked at of Doug Scott's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw it on there.
Yeah.
Different color.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, send them to me and I'll work on it tomorrow. But that was kind of the plan anyway, that we'd both follow up on what we found tonight.
Yeah.
All right, or found today. So, your level of confidence that you're on the right track here.
Well, I still think we need to investigate the map more, and look at the Vallecitos de Abajo and where that might intersect with the Rio Camado and kind of work from there a little bit too.
Yeah.
I want to work both angles on that.
Yeah. All right.
And just so you're aware, that person who keeps calling you is probably just masking their number with other people's phone numbers.
Right.
So you're giving out people's phone numbers that you don't know.
Well, I just think it's funny that we get somebody like this that does that every once in a while, because I don't know what they get out of it. Just strange trolling thing.
It's funny. They think it's funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just don't get mad. Just let it go.
All right. I won't get mad.
Okay.
I already used the F word, and I think Sassy's banned.
Put you in timeout. Yeah. You're going to get banned, man.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, shall we tell everybody that that we demonetized last night because we played that Bamba video, so they demonetized us. We didn't get a strike.
Funny too. Yeah. Tell them that, and then tell them I was singing La Bamba all day, and you were laughing at the way I was singing it.
Well, calling it singing La Bamba would not be an accurate representation of what you were doing.
Soy Capitan.
Yeah. That's pretty good. All right. Well, you're little by little. All right. You get back to whatever you guys were doing, because I know you've had a long day today, and I don't want to make it any longer by keeping you on the phone.
Okay.
And I will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. We'll send you that info.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. 575, 200 feet from the treasure. Just think, only 100 people away. 200 feet. Ha ha ha. Little pun. Denise Bagley says, Denise from Utah, what about brownware pottery for a home of brown? Happiness is the pot of gold. There are places on the fire hole where that kind of pottery originated. Well done. Followed that one up. I know there's a lot of fire hole theories. My feelings, after I go up to a place like this, like we were at today, my feelings are that if Forrest Fenn could find a location so isolated, so beautiful, and so isolated like we saw today, Why would he put it in the middle of the most trafficked national park on the face of the planet? I don't know. I just feel if you've got a special place, it's going to be an isolated special place. It's not going to be in the middle of a national park, but that's my opinion, and I do not have the treasure. So don't take anything I have to say as the word. Oh, my God. Guess who? I guess it's better than the troll, just barely. Rio Grande Joe, what are you up to, brother?
Hey, not much. I was watching your photos. They look nice. That little thing does its job, doesn't it?
Which little? Oh, you mean the drone?
The drone, yeah.
Yeah, the drone does a great job.
That's clear too.
One of these days, well, it's 4K. It's 4K, 60 frames a second. So, as a matter of fact, it's so dense that this high-performance computer has a hard time doing the drone and the stream at the same time. It's pumping all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think y'all might have a good lead.
Yeah, I think so. We'd like to think so.
Well, everybody's got their own, But
yeah, that's what we say. Everybody has a theory. The best thing that you can do is go invoke
follow it,
your theory. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about that place, I mean, that's just me.
Wait. Don't say you don't like my place. It's my place. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't like I don't like your place. So
no.
Don't tell me.
I mean the solve.
Oh,
because I think where Fenn wanted to be throwing himself on the treasure.
Yeah.
It's just me. He wants it to say something about him. And if he would do it right there where you're at, there's nothing around there that would say nothing about him.
No. You don't know. We're not showing you everything, brother. We don't show you everything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because if I threw myself on a treasure, I'd want it to be somewhere close by where it meant something to me and said something about me.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be on the side of this road, right? That's why you have to work out the clues. What the following clues do is take you to the location where he would throw himself down and die around that treasure.
Yeah.
The area we were in. I mean, I feel like today we were in the 500-foot people.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I think we were within 500 feet of the treasure, but didn't know exactly which direction to head. So
yeah.
I'm
not knocking it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like your solve there.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own, and that one seems just as good as anybody else's.
Well, you got it. I wouldn't leave Vermont based on where I think the home of Brown. I mean, that's pretty courageous when you think about it.
Yeah. She can't get the home of Brown without the others.
Well, you know what? You can tell them that, but you just said it yourself, right? That is, everybody has their own theory.
Right.
They have
You've got to have all nine.
They have to find out for themselves, and no matter what you think you have, you're not going to convince them otherwise. You're not going to convince me that my theory is wrong and your theory is right, because it's my theory and your theory. So, wait a minute. I got to take care of some business here.
Okay. It sounds good.
And that's a $10 one. Makes up for the fact that we lost our monetization last night for playing La Bamba. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was watching.
What was good about it is they don't give and I don't know whether it's because we're a YouTube partner. They don't copyright strike us. They don't.
So who do they have watching all this that they can do that?
Most of it is bots.
There's so many thousands of people.
No,
how can they just?
They're bots.
Check everybody.
They're bots. So the bots basically what they do is if you play a song, it takes the 5 seconds of that song and it compares it to this massive library of copyrighted works. So yeah, it's a bot and it reports to them. Then some human person checks it out and you get the message, you get the email that says, "Hey, you played here. Let me show you I can even show you the email that they send." So let me see. Where
sounds good. Well, maybe you'll pop it up out of the ground. You might need your metal detector.
I don't for the treasure.
Yeah.
No metal detector.
You don't think so?
No. He says.
Well, if it's in a big area, you might.
No. He says
you're gonna work to find it.
If you need a metal detector, you're right on top of it anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, I think when he says look quickly down, he doesn't mean straight down. He means look quickly down the way, like Texans talk.
Yeah. No, see,
but it's not me. That's just me.
If you're standing at the blaze, we feel like you're going to be able to turn around, look quickly down, and you're going to see the treasure right there, not quite at your feet, but in a crevice below your feet, right there, down there.
Yeah, but it won't be right there at you. It'd be a few feet away or 100 feet away.
Yeah, because he's got to put it in a place where he could hide his body as well.
Right. Well,
no, Cheryl, we do get the super chat. We don't get the advertising money. As a matter of fact, if you go back to that video right now, you'll see there's no advertising on it. It's one of the few videos that we have. Let's see if I can find that email. Let me show you what YouTube does. Go ahead. I'll listen to you for how long?
Okay.
4 minutes and 45 seconds. Go ahead. While I do this other thing.
Okay. And once you figure more clues out, you'll figure out about the cold. Because it has to mean something.
Who are you talking to here? Who are you telling that to? Are you telling that to me?
Yeah.
No.
Once you get closer. Because he wrote it in there for a reason. I mean, it's not in there for nothing.
Yeah.
It's a location.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And once you find it, you'll know what it is.
Here we go. So this is the email that you get. I'm going to share this with you so you guys know what happens. So this is what you get when you do something like I did last night. And I was just kind of being Brad, I love this song, and I knew there was a chance this was going to happen. But I'm confident that YouTube doesn't. So let me show you what they do. They send you this email.
And you got to find his.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm interrupting you. Go ahead. You got to find this what?
No, he said it's at the end of his rainbow, so you got to find that.
What is a rainbow? I mean, do you think there is literally? Or do you think there is literally
no, it's not. It's not a rainbow in the sky. It's his rainbow.
What is his rainbow?
His personal rainbow.
What is his personal rainbow?
Well, if you find out some more clues, you'll find it too. And his church, it's in the.
So what is? Wait, let's go back. You still haven't told me what his rainbow is. What's his rainbow?
Well, he used to see it every time he went out in Vietnam.
The rainbow?
Yeah.
So there's
just got to figure out what it was.
So the rainbow moved from Vietnam to where he hid the treasure?
Wherever he went, yeah.
Yeah. So it was always a rainbow there? And his church is nearby?
And his church is in the mountains, he said.
Yeah. So tell me what you think.
Well, you got to find something that looks like a church in the mountains.
When he uses the phrase, my rainbow, unquote,
right.
What does he mean?
That's what he said. It's at the end of my rainbow.
Yeah, no, I know that's what he said. You've repeated that 3 times now. What did he, not what he said, what did he mean?
Well, how many times did he go out and get shot down? Twice, but yeah, but he went out hundreds of times, and every time he'd come into his rainbow.
He'd come into his rainbow.
Yeah.
So what is Fenn's rainbow? If it's not a rainbow, because you said already it's not a rainbow.
It's not.
Yeah. So
that's why he said everything he mentioned is placed on a map.
What is his rainbow?
Well, it's easy to. That has to be there when he throws himself on the chest.
Yeah.
And his church in the mountains has to be there too.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
In my solve, I've got it figured out. But that's just me. I don't know if it's right or not. I don't have the treasure yet.
What is his rainbow?
Yeah. That's why I say, if you're in a spot where it doesn't mean nothing about him, it's not going to be there.
But what is his rainbow?
It's got different colors in the rainbow.
I understand that. I know what a rainbow looks like. What is Forrest Fenn's rainbow that you know so much about?
Well, what has he been all his life?
I don't know. I'm asking the questions. I'm the host. What is his rainbow?
Well, he's been a pilot all his life, or for 40 years or whatever.
He was a pilot from the time he was 23 to the time, so that would have been 1953. He was a pilot from 1953 to 2003.
And every time he'd come in that airplane and land, he'd see his rainbow.
What is his rainbow, if it's not a rainbow? Did you tell me that his rainbow is not a rainbow?
No, it's not. If you come in at night, it'd be lit up.
Yeah.
His rainbow would be lit up. That's why he'd like to sit out there in a cemetery and look at the stars and at his rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my solve. I mean,
a little bit more of the dismal tide. Dismal tide. All right, brother. Your 10 minutes of fame are up for the night. Thanks for calling in. And when you want to talk about Forrest Fenn's rainbow again, let me know. All right.
Okay.
You have a good evening.
All right. Bye-bye.
See, I didn't even have to use the alarm that time. Isn't that good? So this is what they send you. Copyright owner using content claims some material in your video. This is not a copyright strike. Claim does not affect your account status. There are other ads running on. There are either ads running on your video with the revenue going to the copyright owner. So it turns out that the copyright owner doesn't have an AdSense account because it's not there. So that's Friday Fandango, La Bamba, Playing for Change, Song Around the World. I was actually just trying to promote them, but hey, I get it. So if there's no problem, you don't need to take any action. You don't need to delete your video. Something went wrong and the copyright owner's system made a mistake. Because this isn't the copyright owner watching a Gypsy's Kiss to see whether or not we played his video. And then they suggest use the YouTube audio library. But so my options at this point are to do nothing. We just won't earn any advertising revenue. They can't take away our, I don't know what the claim looks like. Let me see. So they send you this formal claim, and then if you want, you can fill out the claim, and so it says we're ineligible, public, etc. And so that's one option, not to do anything, right? Another option is for me to go back and edit that segment out of the video, and then go let the copyright guys, the YouTube copyright guys, let them know I've edited that segment out of the video, and we could go back, start earning revenue. But it's not like the revenue that you earn from YouTube is going to make you a millionaire unless you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. We don't. We're in the wrong market for this. Cheryl, gracias por la bamba. De nada, señorita. That's a ka-ching for you. Cheryl. I'm hesitant even now. So the only problem with editing it out is that when we edit it out, it unsynchronizes the chat. Desynchronizes? Is that a word? I just made that up, I think. It avoids, the chat is unable to synchronize, so it deletes the chat from it. And I know some people come back to watch the video from the chat. And it's not like it's going to be the death of a Gypsy's Kiss. This isn't the first time. I mean, we've played other songs. We try to play as much as we can that we either purchase that's copyright free. A lot of the music that you hear from our videos and stuff like that is actually from what they suggest, the YouTube audio library, which they don't have a problem with. But there's a couple of places like Audio Jungle where if I need a video for an outro or an intro, I just buy it from them. And, $12, $15. And you can add it to the intro and outro. That desert when here, I'm going to play the outro. So we got Division 2, that's Mr. Purple, $5, thank you. He says, let's see. Do me a favor, Division 2. I don't think I blocked you because I was blocking the pizza guy. Just text me, send your text to 202-815 and I'll call you back if that's All right, brothers and sisters, we are going on 2 hours here, and I think that's about all for tonight. I need to get back to editing these videos, and so I think I'm going to call it a night because I've had a good day. I've had a great day, and we're yes, I'm sure. I've had a great day, and like I said, I went out with my best friends. We looked for Forrest Fenn's treasure. We had a great time, and I just got a Gmail from Kevin saying he's got the locations all set up for me, and I'll be able to finish this show, and I can move on to looking for the location of our next recon, recon number 37. And anybody, like I said, somebody said earlier, if that would be discouraging for you, don't be discouraged. That's what it's going to take. That's how this game is played. There are people far more refined about this treasure chest than me that have been on hundreds of recons. So think about that. If you're prepared to give up after 1 or 2 or 10, then honestly, don't even waste your time. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take more time. It's going to take more effort. And the reason I know that is because it's been 10 years. And lots of people have put lots of effort into it, and it still hasn't been found. So it's not a one-day thing. It's just not going to be a one-day thing. You're going to have to figure out where the place is and go back one clue at a time and resolve each one of those clues. All right? So, gosh, I didn't want to finish on such a depressing note. I had a great time today. I hope you had as much fun in the room as I did. Apologize for the trolls. They come sooner or later. We do whatever we can to just pretty much ignore them. They're hapless, poor people and with terrible lives, and just feel sorry for them. All right. So let's get out of here with my favorite song.
I left my boots and my faded jeans in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and swapped them for a coat and tie and someplace else to go. I had days that were laced with white lines on narrow blacktop roads, with honky-tonks around the game and drunken episodes.
Wow, John Miller, thank you. I'm going to take advantage of that. Go get some pizza. I'm going to call Domino's right because I actually haven't had dinner because we got back and I went straight to the getting the everybody's imagery sorted out, and so I didn't get a chance to have any dinner. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna order some Domino's right now. Have them deliver it because they're good at it. They're open till 11 too.
In her guitar, play kids I swore were yours, 'cause she played memories, the kind every romance to. Guitar Rhapsody, a midnight rendezvous, and she played memories of songs that made me blue, sweet soft melodies that took me back to you.
You know, Sassafras, it's because Domino's is 5 minutes away. They're the closest one, so. And the better pizza places are closing at 9, so I'm not going to get a chance to do that. Nice thing about it is that they're open till 11.
To bring back Sunday morning rides and sunsets by the stream and old grass beds we made love in.
Lamron, I don't know if I still have the words, but I posted it a couple of times in the chat room. So let me see. I won't be able to find it tonight, but maybe by Wednesday I can give you something to work with. Okay.
She turned her head and walked away, made me realize the longest days and the darkest nights were more than I could face. The only thing that I could do would leave that lonesome place. 'Cause she plays memories, the kind of romance to be dark Rhapsody, midnight rendezvous. There she played memories of songs that made me blue. Sweet soft melodies that took me back to you.